Hello, folks. Very good morning. Welcome to TATR 4K Live. Today we'll be covering a different gate. It is called as the Navigao Gate, and Navigao Gate is also one of the core gates of Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve. Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve is approximately 312 meters above sea level. So Kolara and Navigao Gate is closer to Nagpur, and if you do not get the permits in the Kolara Gate, you can always opt for Navigao because it is very close to the Kolara Gate. There are a few wild boars found very close to the gate. And you can see a whole sound of grazing. Not many of us know that this animal, the wild pigs, they come under the Schedule 3 of Wildlife Protection Act. This is a special law made to conserve and protect the forest resources. So we are currently driving in the Alijanja and Ramdegi buffer. So we'll have to enter the buffer gate first and then go towards the core gate. We are almost approaching the core gate of Navigao, and we'll be moving forward from here onwards.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is T.R. Sonule, Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve, Navigao Gate Core वनरक्षक.
माझे नाव MP मेंदुळतोय, वनरक्षक, नवेगाव बीच, गुड मॉर्निंग.
ताडोबा अंधारी टायगर रिझर्वमध्ये एकूण बफर क्षेत्रामध्ये 13 गेट आहे आणि कोर क्षेत्रामध्ये पर्यटकांसाठी 6 गेट आहे. अशा प्रकारे आपण आज लाईव्ह नवेगाव गेट कोरवरून सफारी करत आहोत.
चला मग आता लाईव्ह सफारीचा आनंद घेऊया.
We have now entered the Navigao core gate, and we'll be heading towards the Navigao Meadows. So Navigao Meadows is one of the most pristine habitats for the grassland dwellers. We have a beautiful bird perched here. It is a white-eyed buzzard basking in the sun. So we are right now clearing up the woods and we are entering the Navigao Meadows. So it is a beautiful ecosystem that we have here. And the Navigao Meadows, it has plenty of grassland. At a distance we can see nilgais running away. So if you observe closely, these nilgais have a white patch just above their hoofs. So this helps the younger ones to follow the mother when they are in the thickets. So it is usually observed in the herd animals like the nilgai and the gaur, but not in the solitary animals like the sambar or the barking deer.
आपण नवेगाव मेडोमध्ये आहो आता आणि इथे अगोदर नवेगाव गाव स्थित होते आणि जवळपास 150 ते 200च्या कुटुंबामध्ये इथं गाव होतं आणि मानव वन्यजीव संघर्ष टाळण्यासाठी 2012 मध्ये ह्या गावाचे पुनर्वसन करण्यात आले.
we are still at Navegaon Meadows because we just heard a distress call of a spotted deer. Till that time, I'll just brief you about Navegaon Meadows. The area of Navegaon Meadows is 269 hectares. So here this grasslands were previously farm fields, and the grasslands are one of the prime ecosystems of any forest. Grasslands in India occupy almost 24% of geographical areas. So here in Tadoba, for grassland management, we remove Prosopis juliflora, मतलब बाबुल ट्री. और बाबुल ट्री पहले यहाँ नहीं था, वो इंट्रोड्यूस किया था भारत में. बाबुल बहुत अच्छी तरह से प्रोपोगेट कर सकता है कोई भी ड्राई रीजन में, और हमें तो ग्रासलैंड बचाना है, तो इसको वुडी कल्चर में कन्वर्ट नहीं होना है, इसलिए हम इसका रिमूवल करते हैं नवंबर से दिसंबर के मंथ में. So if you take a just wide glance at this grasslands, there you can see a woody culture right behind the grasslands, and in this succession the first or one of the species which arrives is the Butea monosperma.
So here we have a beautiful tree standing alone in the Navegaon Meadows, and it is filled with colorful flowers. It is called as Butea monosperma and also called as the flame of the forest, because as you can see here, the flowers are vibrant orange in color and it blooms in the extreme summers, so it looks like as if it is a fire in the jungle, and hence the name flame of the forest. So these trees have varieties of birds and animals which come to consume these flowers. The flowers of these trees are antiseptic in nature, and the leaves are used to reduce pain and swelling. They are also known to cure eye disorder, stones in the bladder, and sexual disorder. So if you observe the leaves here, the leaves are a little broader in shape, and they are also used to make plates, wrappers, and traditionally the flowers of this plant was used to make colors during Holi. If you observe closely, you can see a beautiful male purple sunbird which is trying to collect nectar from these flowers.
Right behind me you can also see a watchtower. During summers, the forest department staff uses it to patrol or see the aerial view of the entire meadows, to keep a watch whether there is a small, even a tinge of fire, to extinguish it. So this watchtower can almost cover a radius of 2 kilometers of area with bare eyes. So these people have to be really on toes during this peak season of summers. पूर्वी आग विझवण्यासाठी झाडांच्या ओल्या फांद्यांचं एक गुच्छा बनवून आगेवरती मारून हे आग विझवण्याचे काम करण्यात येत होते, आणि आता हे मशीन मोटर आल्यामुळे थोडं आग विझवण्याचं काम अजून सोपं झालेलं आहे. पण मित्रांनो, आज विचार करा, चंद्रपूरसारख्या ठिकाणी जेव्हा तापमान एवढं 40, 45, 50 डिग्रीपर्यंत जातं, उन्हामध्ये थांबायला आपल्याला एवढी केवढं अडचण जाते, आपल्याला एवढा त्रास होतो उन्हामध्ये. हे लोक एवढ्या उन्हामध्ये आगीचा सामना करतात आणि आग विझवण्याचे काम करतात. तर एक सल्यूट माझ्याकडून ह्या सर्वांना.
We are right now heading towards Pandupani, and you can see beautiful lush green jungle. After a few showers, the whole forest is regenerated. We have a beautiful lesser golden backed woodpecker here. Looks like a male and busy foraging. While driving towards Pandupani, we have just heard an alarm call by the Sambar deer, and we'll be taking Chikalwahi route now. We find the scat of a tiger. You can see there are small tiny little flies also hovering on top of the scat. We have a butterfly that has just landed on the scat. It is called as the Black Raja. These butterflies are often seen on the rotten fruits and also the dung.
आत्ता मागे फायर कॅम्पवरती मजुरांनी सांगितलं की काल रात्री हँडपंपच्या तिथे रात्री वाघ आला होता. तर तो चेक करण्यासाठी आम्ही काळांबा ह्या मार्गावरती आलो. तर पुढे जाऊन जरा आपण चेक करू कुठे काही टायगरची मूवमेंट आहे की नाही.
After tracking the pug marks, we are now reaching a water body nearby. It is called as Ambepat. Ambepat is very well known for its beautiful canopy cover of the bamboo thickets here. You can hardly see the road, and the track is filled with the bamboo leaves. This is one of the most evergreen places and also has water in the extreme summer, so there might be a possibility of a predator or a big cat here. That's the water body that you are seeing. We have a rose ring parakeet here. This one has a very short tail and it looks like a juvenile. The parents might be somewhere around, and they might be the ones who are calling as well. It looks like that this rose-winged parakeet juvenile hasn't taken the first flight and might be eagerly waiting to take it. After waiting for about 10 minutes, we haven't heard any alarm call, so we are heading towards another adjacent water body, which is not more than 400 meters from here. It is called as Chikalwahi, so we are heading to Chikalwahi now. So we have arrived at Chikalwahi. So this place is called Chikalwahi because it has a lot of salt licks. The carnivores acquire salt from the herbivores, but the herbivores depend completely on the soil for accumulation of salt and minerals. close to the same water body. Under the machan we see a grey langur resting and also curiously watching. Looks like she is having a good time. She's enjoying the shade in the summer heat. We also see a white-browed bulbul here. So we are now heading towards Kalamba. So we've just seen the salt licks and we are heading forward. We have a barking deer happily grazing here. You can look at his tiny little antlers. It's a beautiful stag. The stag of a Samba deer here. He's browsing on the bamboo leaves. Wow, look at his antlers. Looks like he's getting all set for the breeding time. He also has sharpened his antlers. He's not at all bothered. He's just enjoying his time. So we have reached Kalamba and you can hear a distress call of a sambar at a distance. There are a couple of calls that we heard now. So we are heading a little forward to see what is in Kalamba.
तो दोस्तों हमें एक बाइसन का किल मिला है यहाँ पर और शायद टाइगर यहाँ आसपास ही कहीं होगा। ये पास में ही एंट हिल और यहाँ पर कुछ बाइसन को घसीट कर ले जाने के निशान हम देख सकते हैं। शायद आज लगभग सुबह ही बाइसन को मारा होगा और उन दोनों के बीच में बहुत ही तगड़ा मुकाबला हुआ होगा। तो यहाँ कुछ देर रुकते हैं और आसपास ही होना चाहिए टाइगर तो। कारकस को देख के आप पता लगा सकते हो कि ये कारकस कितना पुराना है। जैसे कि इसमें आप ब्लो फ्लाइज और बॉटल फ्लाइज जो है वो कारकस के ऊपर सबसे पहले आते हैं। तो ये बहुत ही फ्रेश मान लो सुबह किल किया हुआ है। हमारे ड्राइवर ने उस घास में कुछ मूवमेंट देखी और हाँ वहाँ टाइगर है। ये शायद T7 का लिटर है जिसे कॉलर लगाई गई थी शायद, और वो पास आने के बाद मैं बता पाऊँगी शायद वही है या नहीं। ओ हाँ ये वही है T126 T7 का लिटर जिसे आप लोगों ने कॉलर लगाए हुए देखा होगा। अ ह्यूज मेल। ओ लुक एट दोस कैनाइन्स। टाइगर्स का डिस्पर्सल स्टडी करने के लिए उन्हें कॉलर आईडी लगाई जाती है और डिस्पर्सल के बाद वो किस तरह का हैबिटेट चूज़ करते हैं वो भी हमें पता लगा सकते हैं। जैसे कि हाल ही में आपने न्यूज़ में सुना होगा एक टाइगर ने 1300 किलोमीटर्स की दूरी तय की थी 150 डेज़ में, और उसमें कई बीच रास्ते में गांव से वो होकर गया। तो रिसेंटली इस टाइगर का कॉलर आईडी हमने निकाला था और ये अभी इसी एरिया में सेटल हो गया है। तो इसकी जब कॉलर आईडी हमने निकाली थी उसे ट्रैंक्विलाइज नहीं करना पड़ा। नया टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से एक क्लिक ऑफ अ बटन से कॉलर आईडी नीचे गिर जाता है। Based on the research results, the forest department can frame certain managements for wildlife. For example, we have seen the longest underpass for wildlife. This is the first of its kind in India, which is at the Pench Kanha corridor. And yes, we have evidences of wildlife using that pass. 468 captures of 155 species in 90 days. तो जब इसे कॉलर था तो आप सभी ने उसे ताडोबा के कई एरिया में देखा होगा। जैसे पहले वो जामनी में था, फिर पांडरपोनी में उसे देखा, एक फ़ाइट हुई थी मेल टाइगर फिर फीमेल टाइगर के साथ कुछ ग्रजेस, फिर बाद में वो नवेगांव में थोड़ी देर के लिए रहा, फिर वापस उसने अपनी टेरिटरी कॉन्कर करके अब यहाँ आ गया। तो कॉलर आईडी के वजह से हम उसका एक पैटर्न देख पाए कि ये एक टेरिटरी चूज़ करने के लिए कहाँ कहाँ वो घूमा है पूरे जंगल में। So I think we better leave him and let him enjoy his feast.
Now we are heading towards the Tadoba Lake from Kalamba. So many of you would have not seen this road. So this road connects from Kalamba to the Tadoba Lake. It goes right behind Tadoba Lake. So sometimes we see the tigers taking these routes. In fact, the tiger's T12, when she crosses Chikkalwahi, that's the road she takes. So we just heard the distress call of the peafowl and we were waiting, and we got to see him in the bushes. Now the leopard has come out and it's running away from the vehicle. If you have ever wondered how to reach Tadoba Lake from Kalamba. So there is a road that leads to Tadoba Lake from Kalamba. So that's the same road that we're taking right now, and you can also see Tadoba Lake at a distance. You can also see this watchtower from the other side of the Tadoba Lake when you're driving right past the lake. In fact, the water comes and covers this road in the monsoons. We have a grey-headed fish eagle here. It's on a perch, carefully looking at the water body. So there is a very good population of grey-headed fish eagles, and sometimes you also get to see the young ones in the summer months. We have beautiful jamun tree canopies, and if you've been to Tadoba and you've heard that the tigress Teachwal has gone towards colony, then this is how the colony looks like. She comes right past the colony, she walks on the same road. So the insect that you see here is a robber fly. It is also called as an assassin fly. So right now you can see this robber fly exhibiting the cannibalistic behavior. So which means till now one of the robber flies was injecting the venom in the thoracic part, but now he has gone down to the abdomen. So the venom is nothing but the saliva, which is neurotoxic. They have long, strong legs, and they are meant to aid in prey capture. So these robber flies are opportunistic predators. They go for any insect as their major diet, and they first inject the saliva, immobilize the prey, and then that saliva helps in digestion of bodily contents of the insect. So we are now heading towards Pandravani from Tadoba Lake. So we've just covered the guest house and headed towards Pandravani. We are going to check if there's anything happening there. So we've almost done a circle now from Navigaon Road to Chikkalwahi to Kalamba, and we've taken a circle of Tadoba Lake and going back to Pandravani. Just before reaching Pandrapani, we got to see these two wild dogs. So this is a pack of two, a male and a female, and usually together and moving around towards Pandrapani and Tadaba Lake. You can see the female is very playful. She's playing with the antler of the Sambar deer. So these two are very bold, and we have seen them as a pack since a long time. So usually the pack size varies. It can start from 2 wild dogs and can reach up to 14 wild dogs in Tadoba. So they are extremely territorial. They also spray urine and defecate at places to mark their territory. So these are also called as the whistling hunters or the pack hunters. So the pack leaders would be the alpha male and the alpha females. Only these 2 wild dogs in the pack are allowed to breed. So the rest of the pack members help, especially for hunting, because these are very small dogs, and to hunt a prey like a spotted deer or a Sambar deer, it is very difficult. So friends, hope you enjoyed the safari with us today, and we are now heading back to the Navegaon gate. We will be back at 3 p.m. tomorrow again with a new safari gate and a new safari experience. Please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel TATR 4K Live. Stay safe, stay home, and goodbye.